Hey there, my name is Oisin Lunny and welcome to Audio Talks presented to you by Harman. And in this episode, we are recording live in Las Vegas as part of a special edition HARMAN ExPLORE AMA session with three audio gurus. I'm thrilled to be joined by the good Dr. Sean Olive, Senior Fellow at Harman. How are you, Sean? Great to see you.
I'm great, thank you.
Fantastic. We're also joined by Dave Tovissi, who is a VP and GM of the Luxury Audio Division at Harman Consumer Audio. Welcome, Dave.
Good day, Oisin.
Hey, good day. Great to see you. And we're thrilled to be joined by one of the leading experts on the data. He's bringing the research. It's Guy Hammett from Futuresource, a Senior Market Analyst. How are you, Guy?
Oh, well, Oisin, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us. So we have literally just now finished a special LinkedIn live broadcast covering the 2023 Audio Trendwatch, why quality is the hot new normal. And our VIP guests, our power trio, have just covered some massive topics like the inside scoop on what's happening now and next in the largest and most innovative sector of the 86 billion global consumer audio market. We've been exploring why the discerning consumer is becoming the norm and what this means for audio tech and the luxury audio segment. And we've learned how the engineering teams at Harman managed to continuously set bigger and better standards and have developed the best sounding TWS headphones on the planet. It's been absolutely thrilling. We're going to link to that LinkedIn live recording in the show notes, and do check it out if you missed the live broadcast yourself. So as part of the live broadcast, we had a tour, we had some demos, we attacked all of the burning questions, and we invited questions from the audience which were left in the comments. So now we are going to answer some of your burning questions. We've been taking them in through LinkedIn Live, through direct messaging. So thank you to everyone who submitted questions. We're going to get through as many as possible right now. So Sean, you were showing off these incredible JBL Tour Pro 2s. These are the best sounding TWS headphones on the planet. The science behind it that you verified with your team, it's absolutely incredible. Folks were asking, when are these going to be available? What's your answer?
So in America and everywhere else besides Europe, they'll be available in the spring.
Phenomenal. Okay, we don't have long to wait because a lot of people were very keen to get their hands on the Tour Pro 2s with that amazing case and all of these amazing features. And one of the folks picked up on the fact that you said the ANC performance was in the top 2. So am I right in saying this is for the TWS category?
Yes, that's correct.
Awesome. That's brilliant. And Dave, quick question for yourself. A lot of people were, their jaws were hitting the floor as you took us through that fantastic showroom full of beautiful, breathtaking equipment. Somebody asked on LinkedIn, are these products available globally?
They will be, yes, sir.
Okay, so now we have a question for Sean and Dave. Which music setup is the preference for an indoor or home setting? So I guess a way to look at this would be, if you are putting together a setup at home, what would you make sure was at the heart of that setup? And we're going to start with yourself, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, I have two setups at home, one for stereo and one for immersive audio. So if you're watching movies or multi-channel music, immersive audio, you want the immersive setup.
Very good. I like that. That's a mark of a pro. More than one setup at home. Absolutely phenomenal. And Dave, what say you? What should be at the heart of a music setup at home?
Depending on the size of the house, I truly love these active loudspeakers because it makes it so much easier for consumers to not only consume their music, but also do their setups. Everything's wireless.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, I mean, I remember setting up audio systems, wires everywhere, patch bays, all sorts. Yeah, things are so much simpler now. And another question, thank you to all of you for sending in these great questions. This is a really interesting one. If you only had one product, which product would you pick from the luxury range? And we'll start with yourself, Dave.
Well, I'm really excited about our headphone. It's the best sounding headphone on the market. I would have to say our headphone was the number one product I would own.
Sweet. Okay, so that's a Mark Levinson 5909s for the win from Dave. That's brilliant. Thank you. And Sean, how about yourself? What is one piece of equipment that you would say is essential for your home?
Yeah, well, for speakers, it's I have Revel Salon 2s, and but I also have my favorite pair of headphones, which I take with me when I travel.
Nice. Okay, good top tips there. And Guy, how about yourself? What would you say is a kind of an essential piece of equipment that should be at the heart of a home listening experience?
Well, for me, actually, if we look at the products we saw today, I listen to most of my music out of the home, in the gym, walking around, traveling. So for me, I really think the JBL Tour Pro 2 is pretty amazing. There's so many TWS headphones out there on the market at the moment, but the audio quality sounds so good, and the innovation of having the screen on the case really is something new, which no one else has.
100%. It is a breakthrough product. It is absolutely setting the new standard for TWS headphones. The previous standards, as we talked about on LinkedIn Live, were pretty damn stellar already, and the team has absolutely managed to smash them. So there's a lot of passion there, a lot of expertise, and a lot of science and engineering under the hood. But Dave, that was a great walkthrough that we had earlier. You imbue such a sense of passion, and you genuinely love high-end audio. You always impress me whenever we get together. You say, Oisin, sit here. You have to hear this. This is amazing. So talk to us a bit about where this comes from, and how do you go about using this passion and this experience to design and engineer the flagship products for Harman?
This will be my 40th year in the industry, Oisin, and I'm so excited. Every day I wake up thinking how I could make something for the audience that hasn't been done before. So being around Harman with all the innovation and all the tools and the engineering sites, it's not hard to get excited. It's easy. And I have a team that's just as passionate as I am.
Yeah.
So our goal is to constantly keep innovating. And I truly feel that the products you see here at HARMAN ExPLORE are the results of passion and innovation. So it's not difficult. I love it.
Fantastic. We spoke a bit earlier about some of the hottest new trends in the audio tech world, but I would like to put you all on the spot one by one. And Guy, we're going to start with your good self there. If you had to choose one hot trend to talk about in 2023, what would it be?
I think immersive audio is the big one for me. So we've already had immersive in cinema. That's been big for a couple of years now, Dolby Atmos especially. All the kind of new soundbars have Dolby Atmos. A lot of the content providers are providing a lot of content in Dolby Atmos for movies. But what we're really seeing now is that music in Dolby Atmos is becoming big. Again, this has been something that's been talked about for a few years, but there wasn't many products out there that offered it, and there wasn't much content out there that offered it. So it was a bit of a chicken and egg situation. But now we're really seeing that the content for immersive music like Dolby Atmos, like Sony 360, that's there now. Most of the major streaming providers are having some tracks at least with these kind of technologies. So expecting a lot more speakers with Dolby Atmos, Sony 360, other immersive technologies for music specifically.
Top tip, immersive for the win there from Guy. And Sean, how about yourself? What is like a top trend that you would recommend people keep an eye on for 2023?
Yeah, I think it's personalization. People have different needs for sound, depending on the use case. Various people have hearing loss. They may have different sound profile tastes in terms of frequency balance. And then for spatial audio, people have, everyone's heads and ears are different shaped. And there's a trend to measure their what's called head-related transfer functions, which defines the frequency response at their ears or the behavior at their ears when a source is in different directions. So you're going to see their personal HRTFs incorporated into products.
Nice. Personal HRTFs. That's the science part right there. I love it. Thank you, Sean. Brilliant. And Dave, how about yourself? What's a top trend that folks should have on their 2023 radars?
Well, I know what we have on our radar, and that's we're paying attention to how data and AI can actually enhance the music experience, whether it be digital upmixing, maybe it's a product that comes out of the box and self-calibrates, or even using sensors to change the music based on your mood. That's how, AI is actually being applied to our product mix in the future.
Phenomenal. Okay, watch this space, I would say. And Sean, coming back to yourself now, you gave a real, fantastic glimpse of the JBL Tour Pro 2s earlier. They got that very innovative case. A lot of people were commenting on the look, the audio quality, etc. But voice calling quality is a big deal for our Phonosapien species. We like to be able to flip from our podcasts or music to phone calls seamlessly. So what's happening under the hood of the JBL Tour Pro 2s when it comes to voice calling and quality?
First of all, they have a beam, an array of microphones built into the headphones that make the microphones more directional so they can actually pick up your voice much more clearly than having just one or two microphones. Secondly, there's a very sophisticated AI-driven algorithm underneath that is able to separate out your voice from the background noise.
Wow.
So that you get much more clear call quality, and the person on the other end can hear you much better in a noisy environment.
Amazing. So all the time it's focusing on the end user experience, and the tech is under the hood, it's out of the way. It's, amazing AI and technology just making sure this is the best possible consumer experience. That's very impressive. But for the consumer, it's easy. It's a voice call and it's seamless. I love it. And, of course, we also have this smart case for the Tour Pro 2s. Now, talk to us a bit about how this is pushing the design envelope and what kind of innovations are in the smart case there for the JBL Tour Pro 2s.
I think the main feature is it allows you to control the headphone, all of its functionality. You can play all your music, pause it, fast forward it, right from the case. You don't have to get your phone out and use the phone app, and so that's a huge convenience, I believe.
Fantastic. And the visual factor is phenomenal as well. It's so nice being able to see, what's happening on the headphones, the ambient noise control, EQ, all this kind of stuff. It's such a cool innovation and real kind of a first for the market, I believe, completely. And Sean, staying with yourself, what are some of the other new features that make the JBL Tour Pro 2s the best JBL TWS headphones ever?
Well, apart from the case, the unique screen inside the case, it has excellent audio performance. It has a very good frequency response that we know from our research will please most of the people in terms of sound quality. It has class-leading ANC performance. So this is kind of a new thing for JBL. We're now in the top one or two performers in terms of ANC, and that's fantastic.
That's phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant. And I know some of the headphones team here are at HARMAN ExPLORE in Las Vegas, and they should be congratulated for these incredible achievements. It's absolutely phenomenal. And Dave, you took us through the audio setup at Casa del Dave a bit earlier, so I'm going to direct a similar question to your good selves, Guy and Sean. So Guy, talk to us a bit about what's your setup at home.
So I live in a very small kind of central London flat. So currently I'm relying on my trusty JBL Go 2, which I've had for probably 4 years now, 5 years almost. But considering the kind of physical restraints I have, I think if I was going to upgrade, it would absolutely be a pair of active loudspeakers. You're really combining ease of use with sound quality. Don't need wires running all around my small flat. So I think that kind of meets all my needs.
That's a really good point. Yeah, and the active monitors are just, so beautifully kind of calibrated already, and they're perfect for the rooms. And like you say, zero wires. Absolutely phenomenal. It's the kind of convenience we all come to expect these days. And Sean, is there any equipment that you'd like to specifically name check? You mentioned you had a couple of setups, one for immersive, one for music. Is there any piece of equipment that you'd like to kind of share with our listeners that you'd recommend for a home setup?
Yeah, so for my immersive setup, I have a JBL STP55 synthesis controller. So that handles all the sources. It does all the signal processing, the Dolby Atmos decoding, and it includes a self-calibration routine where it will measure all the speakers, adjust the levels, the time arrivals, and then do room equalization. So we can design the best speakers, right, in our labs, but when you put them into a room, the room has a negative impact, usually on the bass, and that's what this system will do. It'll fix the bass.
That's a great tip. Thank you for that, Sean. That's brilliant. I'm sure a few people are adding that to their wants list as we speak. Now, Dave, coming over to yourself. Now, let's talk a bit about the past few years. We kind of mentioned this on the show floor as you were giving us a tour of the JBL Lounge. You spoke about what the past few years have been like for the luxury division. But from a personal perspective, what was it like engineering a product during the lockdown? How did that work?
It took us back to the roots of the audio industry, Oisin. We were working out of our basements, out of our garages, without all the tools that we typically have at a HARMAN facility. But the team was able to take tools and products home, and it kept our projects on schedule. And the products you're seeing here at HARMAN ExPLORE today are the results of their work from their homes, which is pretty amazing. We also had great collaboration with our suppliers across the globe. When we couldn't test, we asked them to do the testing from their facilities. And as Sean said, the tools that we have at HARMAN to test, we also require our suppliers and partners to have those same tools, so we can trust that when they're doing the test, they're going to be the same as if we were in our own facilities.
I'd imagine that a lot of people listening, if they're working in the field of audio engineering, they're in the business, this is quite a compelling story in that there's a lot of passion behind the team. Anyone I've ever met at HARMAN has got a real passion for audio. You've been innovative during the lockdown and immensely successful. These products are pushing the envelope and consumers love them. So if I was an engineer, I'd be thinking, how do I get to work with Sean and Dave? Is there anywhere that people should look for the latest vacancies?
Absolutely. Go to harman.com and explore, all our openings. We are always looking for people who share the same passion as we do. Most of our team are musicians, so they understand how music is made, and it makes it important to them to be able to reproduce the same thing that they've been playing. So if you're looking for a career, my career over 40 years led me to HARMAN, and the last 4 years are the most exciting because of the team that we're working with.
That's fantastic. And we've had the pleasure of speaking to a lot of your colleagues on the Audio Talks podcast. And of course, during the lockdown, we're recording remotely as well. Many of the backgrounds, like Chris Dragon, who's actually behind HARMAN ExPLORE here in Las Vegas, it's just wall-to-wall guitars or drums and musical instruments, and everyone is passionate about it. So it's a company of music lovers making amazing products for music lovers, wall-to-wall. That's fantastic. Speaking of which, I'm going to ask you all a very important question. It's one we ask all of our VIP guests on the Audio Talks podcast, and that is to choose a track for our VIP title playlist. And we are going to start with your good self, Dave.
Wow, the one track. Well, when I go home after 10 hours of listening to music, I want to chill out. So I actually listen to George Winston, a great piano soloist, and I guess my favorite track is Autumn. And what makes it so unique to me is it's the first time where all my cats come up and sit on my lap, because there's something that they like about the piano. So it's pretty cool to not only know that I enjoy music, but my pets also enjoy it.
Oh, wow. I love that. That's great. I am going to be playing that very loudly and kind of looking at our cat to see if she would like to come and get comfortable.
She will come there. Promise you.
Fantastic. Music for pets as well. That's brilliant. And Sean, how about yourself? What track would you like to add to our playlist?
Yeah, I find myself listening a lot to Stacey Kent, who's born in America, jazz female vocalist, and I like her voice, and she sings in multiple languages, French or English. And the track, well, I just tell title to play Stacey Kent, and the first track that comes up is The Best Is Yet to Come, which I think could describe HARMAN.
Nice. Oh, beautifully said, Sean. Thank you. That's brilliant. And Guy, coming over to yourself, what track are you going to add to our title playlist?
Yeah, so it's the start of a new year. I think we're kind of all looking forward to 2023, so I wanted something quite upbeat and fun. And also really exciting news in the last couple of days that De La Soul's track list is going to be officially available on streaming platforms for the first time ever. So I think I'd like to add The Magic Number by De La Soul.
Absolutely superb. I remember getting a cassette tape of that album sent over by my aunt in Los Angeles to Ireland and playing it to death in the late 80s. That is an iconic album, and I was equally thrilled to see it join the streaming services. Great choice there. And my own contribution to the playlist this time, as we are in Las Vegas, is of course Elvis Presley, Viva Las Vegas. Okay, thank you guys so much for spending the extra time to talk to our listeners on Audio Talks. Thank you to Dr. Sean Olive.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dave Tovissi.
Hey, thank you.
And thank you to Guy Hammett.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. So listeners, don't forget to subscribe, comment and share Audio Talks with your friends and family. If you're enjoying the Audio Talks series of podcasts, why not pop over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify or wherever you get your favourite podcasts and leave a nice review. It really does mean a lot and it helps new listeners get to know about the amazing guests that we talk to in every episode, like Dr. Olive, like Dave and like Guy. For more exclusive content, some behind the scenes goodies and maybe even some competitions, connect with us over on the Instagram. You can find us at Audio Talks Podcast. We'll be back soon for some more legendary Audio Talks. See you next time.